What are 5 things about security that you really need to pay attention to if you decide to use the Internet of Things devices inside of your small business? I'm Woody Huffines. I own the Nurse to Go in McKinney in Frisco, Texas, and this is Tech for the Untechnical. There's a lot of cool stuff out there that these Internet of Things devices will give you for your small business or your home. Almost everybody now has some kind of Internet of Things device in their home, whether it be a Ring camera or an Amazon Echo or something that allows you to do some things automatically and easily at home that you think, man, that'd be a really cool thing to do in my small business. I've got 5 things that I would make sure that you do from a security standpoint before you put Internet of Things devices into your small business. And the first, and I think the most important of those, is have a firewall. If you don't have a firewall in your small business, well, first of all, I think that's a problem that you don't have a firewall. But if you're going to have Internet of Things devices, a firewall becomes a crucial piece of security that you need to have in place in your business to keep that Internet of Things device from reaching out to countries that you don't want it to reach out to, or transferring data that you don't want it to transfer. So the first step, if you're thinking about an Internet of Things device in your business, is get you a firewall. The second thing that you need to consider, which is an outflow of the firewall, is network segmentation. If you have a good firewall, the segmentation kind of comes with the firewall. You can do network segmentation relatively easily on the firewall. But what you want is a different local area network or virtual local area network to put these Internet of Things devices on, because their security postures are generally a lot worse than computers and other things that you hook to your network. You really don't want those Internet of Things devices on the same network as your critical business data. So network segmentation is the second thing you need to consider if you're going to put an IoT device in your small business. The third thing that you need to pay attention to if you have an Internet of Things device in your small business is that you want the data that Internet of Things device passes back and forth to the network to be encrypted. You don't want things in the clear, whether it's the video that it's shooting so that somebody could intercept that video and have copies of the video that it shoots, or the credit cards that it's processing, or the commands that you're giving it. You don't want that stuff in the clear. So make sure that you have encryption, and make sure that that is TLS encryption so that the communication going on between the network and the Internet of Things device thing is encrypted. Fourth thing is regular patch management. You know, we have all of our MSP customers, we're taking care of the patch management on their computers. But a lot of times, the patch management and the software updates for Internet of Things devices is not automatic and it's not managed. And as they discover issues with the security posture of an Internet of Things device, if you don't upgrade the firmware for that device, you're not going to get the advantage of that upgrade. So, have a process in place to make sure that you're checking for and applying updates and upgrades to the Internet of Things devices in your business. The final thing you need to consider is the vendor's security practices. What does the vendor do, and how does the vendor behave with that Internet of Things device? For example, my wife got this really cool thing that you could turn some lights on out on the patio on and off by the phone. Well, because I've got a firewall at home, I found out that that thing that's out there that's on the patio connecting stuff up to turn it on and off by the phone is sending something to a database in China, or sending something to a server in China. Because it's a segmented network, I could see that it's sending it. Why does the light switch on my back porch need to communicate to China? It doesn't anymore because I unplugged it. The bottom line, though, is that you need to be aware of what that vendor does, and that goes back to what the firewall will give you. Is you can use the logging on the firewall to see if the vendor's doing what he says he's doing by looking at how that thing's transmitting data around. So those are the 5 things you need to know if you're going to put Internet of Things devices in your small business. If you have any questions, give us a call at Nerds to Go and we can answer them for you. If you find this information helpful, hit the subscribe button. Most importantly, hit the like button. Share it with your friends. And if you have any questions or comments, throw them in the things below. Do you have a small business? Do you have a firewall? Give me a hint. Y'all take care.